Hi friends, I am sorry I have been MIA again. I do remember that at the beginning of the year I said that one of my goals was to post a video every single week this year. A quarter of the year had passed already and I haven't been really great on keeping up with my schedule. But I do have an excuse for that. Well, this time a real one at least. As some of you may know, I moved to a new house, and that comes with a lot of work and stress. As opposed to the first time when I moved in Norway, when I moved into a completely furnished house, now we moved in a house where there was nothing. So now we moved into a completely unfurnished house. It wasn't by mistake, it was a choice because we wanted to find a bigger place and to be able to customize it as we wanted to. So here I am finally, after more than a month of working on this house, we are finally done. I was very well aware that moving takes a lot out of you and that it is stressful and physically takes a lot of time. But this time was more than I was expecting. So my boyfriend and I did this by ourselves, everything. We found the furniture by ourselves, we moved it by ourselves, we had to carry really heavy stuff by ourselves, we cleaned, we built everything back together, we decorated. Now we are finally 90% done. There are a few small pieces that we still want, and of course there is more decorating to do. But other than that, the place is completely furnished and it's practical and also very comfortable and cozy, and we've been living for a few weeks already and enjoying the new space. There are a few things that I really enjoy about this new house. One of them is that I now also have my own working space where I can create just by myself without being interrupted, but also being able to make all the noise and mess I want to. And then we have a really cute garden, and I can't wait for the summer to just stay outside and paint. I planted some flowers already, so I'm excited for those to bloom as well. So I'm happy with a change of scenery and can't wait to show you guys more of this place. So as you can all assume, my aesthetic for this house is going to be very gothic, but also very modern. So I will be doing some DIYs, and some of them I will be definitely recording and posting over here. So definitely stay tuned for those. Other than that, I do also have some more art plans. First off, I want to do some wood paintings. I got myself some slices of wood that I really want to make something pretty with them. Then I want to do another series of my demon paintings, but this time in acrylic, not in ink. I have some really tall and narrow canvases that I think would fit great this concept. Then there's a project that I mentioned at the beginning of the year, is for me to draw the zodiac signs. And I really need to get to that because I still have the ideas fresh in my head. Something that I've already started and it's in sketch form is my logo. I know I redid it last year, but I'm really not happy with how it turned out. I want to try again and hopefully make something better this time. So just wish me luck and keep your fingers crossed that this time it turns out the way I'm envisioning it. Oh, and by the way, I know some of you were excited for more wood burning content. I will be doing that too. I just need to get some more wood for it. But it's definitely on my to-do list. Now I'd like to move to talking a bit about social media. So me being away from posting on social media is of course a pain in the ass because the algorithm hates you if you don't constantly pump content. And due to that, now of course my posts are not shown to the people who follow me. So that's less than ideal, as you can imagine. But now that I'm back at it again and I'm posting consistently, I also have to promote my stuff so people know that I exist, so people can see my products and know that they can buy them. And I also want to interact and network with other artists and hopefully collaborate with some of them and get inspired by others. But there's this annoying part of the social media and the internet altogether. For me, the annoying part is censorship. The freedom of speech does not apply to the internet. I mean, well, you are free to say whatever you want, but the algorithm will punish you by not showing your content to anyone. I noticed this kind of absurd censorship first time when I wanted to start posting some artistic nudes, and I realized that most of the platforms do not allow such a thing. And sure, let's say, since posts are not reviewed by a person but by an algorithm, it is difficult for a machine to make a difference between what is pornography and what is art. So that's okay, and I accepted that, and I censored my artwork when needed. But then there are so many topics that now are no longer acceptable. So let's talk about some of them. Since I'm not monetized anyway, I can pretty much do whatever the fuck I want. So, taxidermy. This is a beautiful art to me, but there are so many people that find it disgusting and they report people who are posting such content, and the algorithm bans those people because it considers that they posted dead animals without a context of what taxidermy is. So that's in the realm of art, just a couple of the things that bother me. But then there are some other topics that are not art related. Talking about the human body, talking about menstruation, talking about any kind of sexual education. You have to censor every word you say. One can especially not say the word vagina. But it's mostly alright to say the word penis. So we end up with hoo-has and vajayjays and God knows what else. We don't talk about menstruation. We don't talk about it because women bleed and that's considered gore. But at the same time, we don't get a free day of work at least because we're in pain. So when it comes to pain, let's also talk about mental health. Content about that is extremely suppressed. That's absurd. Bringing awareness to anything is no longer accepted. Bringing awareness to a political topic, to a topic pertaining to race injustices, to violence of any kind, to sexual assault, to rape, to suicide, all these topics are suppressed. Nothing can be said. We have to censor everything to say SA, R-word, S-word, unaliving yourself. What the actual fuck? Is there anything that can be said? Any kind of serious discussion about any of these topics and many others is forbidden. Yet, we glorify serial killers. We create so many shows for them. We create so many podcasts talking about them. We write books about them. We create merchandise for them. Their violence is glorified. It's idealized. We're fascinated with the gore of their actions. We're fascinated with their horrific murders and mutilations. But we cannot talk about real problems. And so I was raised by society, not my family, but by society, to know very damn well that anything except perfect means failure. And besides my physical appearance, grades, and other mundane shit like that, this also includes the way I talked and what I said. So I've always been a bit afraid of expressing any opinions because I would have been judged and cancelled. I haven't been myself in a long time and it really shows. I feel like there's no personality left in me. You all heard me saying in the beginning of this year that I want to be true to myself, and you know what? It turns out it's fucking hard to do that. Because after years of wearing so many fucking masks, it's so difficult to be me. It's difficult to remember who I am. I don't even know what I like anymore. I've been trying to fit so many boxes just so I could get by and live my life. I've been trying to fit in so many fucking boxes just so I can get some eyes on my work. Just so I can please someone in this fucking world, but I cannot. It seems like I'm not good enough whatever I do, so I'll just fucking stop trying. I'll stop trying to be anything. This world is exhausting. I just truly hope that someday soon I will be able to become the strange person I always wanted to be. I want people to be confused, maybe fascinated, and just a little bit afraid of me when they see me walking down the street. I want that when people look at me to think of me as a personification of a crow. Because I like all things black, but I also like all things shiny. And I'm also pretty, but I'm fucking weird. So moving away from this rant, let's look at this week's artworks. The sun and the moon and their really weird relationship that I created in my mind. Let me start by saying that in Romanian culture, the sun is seen as a masculine figure, whereas the moon is seen as a feminine figure. I know that in Germanic cultures it's the opposite, but because this artwork is about what's in my head, I went with the personification. But because this artwork is about what's in my head, I went ahead and personified the sun and the moon as I knew them to be since I was a child. I always imagined them to have a super toxic relationship where the sun is beautiful, everyone loves him, and he knows it, and he's so full of himself because he knows that he maintains life on the planet, and people literally come out of their houses just to see him, just to bask in his glory. But of course that's not enough for him, so he's obsessively in love with the moon. And she is such a strange beauty. She lights up the night sky and changes her appearance from one day to the next. She's mysterious, she's fascinating. No one knows that much about her, and humans don't understand her power. But the poor moon is forced to have the sun shine on her all the time, and people only see that. People only see the sun shining on her. They don't see her. They just see a reflection of him. So she runs and hides from him every time, and every day he comes in the sky. She's sick of him, she doesn't want to see him. And he obsessively chases her and maybe catches her a few hours in the winter days. But you know the dark side of the moon? Well, that's her face, because she's turned from him. She doesn't want to look him in the eyes for a second. She enjoys the darkness and the solitude. So that's my story for these drawings. Is it strange? Yeah, I think so. But was it fun to think about? Oh, absolutely. I really hope you enjoyed my ramblings and my strange story. And now actually I want to ask you something, and I would really like to hear your opinions in the comments below. I would like to know if there are some topics that maybe you would like me to discuss in upcoming videos, because I do have artworks that I'm planning to draw up, but I don't really know what else I could be talking about. I am not someone who has had many exciting things happen in their life, so I don't have many stories to tell. But if you have any subjects that I should maybe look into, or there are any things that you'd like to hear me share, please do let me know. So once again, thank you for listening, and until next week, hopefully next week, and I will not delay the video again, stay spooky.